You think if Marko Jaric were born 10 years later, your moment in the NBA would be different? During your career, who was the toughest player you faced in that times? I want to ask you about another Balkanic player, Luka Doncic, how you see his impact and now this moment with Los Angeles Lakers. Tell us, when was the first time you went inside a paddle court? How many days you play actually padel? Today I'm very lucky because we have one icon of the modern basketball. He played with the best teams in Europe and he also showed his talent in the NBA. His biggest achievement was winning the World Cup with Yugoslavia. He's a great father, he's a good cooker, he loves padel. So today we're going to be with Marko Jaric. Hello everyone, today we have the pleasure to be with the big Marko Jaric. Marko, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
Probably everyone knows you, but for those that maybe not so much, tell us a little bit, who is Marko Jaric?
Oh, I don't know how much time we have to talk about it. But I'm from Serbia, born 47 years ago. Left Serbia at the age of 17, played in Greece 2 years, professionally basketball, moved to Italy, played for Bologna, two teams in Bologna, won a couple championships there, European Championship, and then moved to NBA, got drafted by the Clippers 2002, 2003, played there, then Minnesota, then Memphis, and then went back to Madrid and Siena, Italy, and then that was end my career.
Congratulations for your fantastic career. Who is Marko Jaric today, and what a normal day of Marko looks like?
I believe Marko Jaric is today is just a normal guy, everyday guy who enjoying everyday life, talking to everyday people. I recently moved back to Los Angeles from Miami for 13 years. I'm enjoying little things. I live by the beach. I love cooking. I wake up early, make breakfast for my daughters, take them to school. After that, I go to play paddle a little bit, or I go a little bit to office and do work.
So you're a good cooker then?
Yes, I mean I lived in Italy for 4 years, Spain. You know, I love good food. I think quality food is important, and I'm trying to transmit that to my kids as well. So yeah, I love cooking.
Mediterranean style.
Mediterranean style. I became actually very difficult with Italian food.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Italy, Italians in Bologna, they were driving me crazy. You can eat after 2 p.m. You cannot. You have to have espresso this. You have the cappuccino then. You cannot mix this pasta with that. Now I became worse than all Italians. I have to go particular salt to buy their tomato. I need to go there. It's crazy.
You're like a Sudoku right now.
Yes.
No?
If I go overcook pasta 30 seconds, I go nuts.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay, Marko, going back to your career, your whole career, which period of your career you remember like the most successful, or where you felt like in your best moment?
Well, my career was a little bit particular because my early stages of my career, I basically won so many things, you know, by age of 20, before I came to NBA, I was already world champion with my national team, Yugoslavia, Serbia at the time. I mean, Serbia, Yugoslavia at the time. We were European champions. I was European champion with Kinder Bologna. I won championships in Italy, cups, junior, you know, under European Cup, under 20 or something like that. So I was always part of organized teams and good teams, and that we were a winning team. And then, unfortunately, in the NBA, when I went there when actually I feel the strongest and best. I played for very young, unexperienced teams. Clippers was very, very young. Maybe at the time a little bit disorganized team, and unfortunately with Minnesota, they went through the transition. Organization went to transition right away as soon as they moved there to kind of reorganize the team. And so I feel when I was the strongest and best, I was not lucky maybe enough to be in a good team, in a good organization to really maybe show my talent all the way. But it is what it is. I feel very happy, blessed to be part of, first of all, to do, for my job to be something that I love to do, to be part of, to win so many beautiful moments and beautiful, championships, and, be part of the NBA, which is the highest level of any sports you can play. And yeah, that's amazing.
You think Marko Jaric, if Marko Jaric were born 10 years later, your moment in the NBA would be different?
It would definitely be different. That's a good question, because I feel NBA became much more, sophisticated sport. Right now players needs to be much more versatile. Every player needs to be a little bit smarter than my time, in sense. Look now, the centers are best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. He's the center who dribbles the ball like a point guard. There's many more point guards now my height. They're tall guys. They like to pass. Basically every player needs to be capable to do a lot of things. But again, I also feel that my father played basketball. He was always telling me, I wish I played in your time. There's more, it would be easier, and more money too, and everything. And so you know what, I'm happy and blessed that I had a life and career that I had and stuff, and made me who I am as a person right now.
For sure. Marko, during your career, NBA, European, whatever, a professional career, who was the toughest player you faced in that times? Or that you felt like, okay, when I was inside a court, I felt like he was something different. Maybe it was Jordan, I don't know. Maybe it was...
Probably the best moments I had was with Kobe Bryant, because we were same age, same generation, and we were guarding each other all the time. We were in LA, and I was always guarding him, and it was obviously extremely difficult. But and I always tried. He was physically amazingly talented, so I always tried to outsmart him. To try to give him a defensive move that he would get uncomfortable. And I will always try to understand what the other team's trying to do, so I can, anticipate the thing. So for me, it was very difficult to guard the guys that they were just wild. And one of those guys was Gilbert Arenas, who he just didn't care about what coach would say. He would just take the ball, go coast to coast, score, go. He was just all over the place. Amazing, tremendous talent. So it's very hard for me to adjust to that. It's very hard for me to tell all my guys, listen, once we score, we need to run back, because he's going to take the ball and run the sprint and shoot a half-court shot. So it's very hard to organize and prepare for the guy like that.
I want to ask you about another Balkanic player in these times, like Luka Doncic. How you see his impact, and now this moment with the Los Angeles Lakers?
Luka is generational talent. What he's doing is phenomenal from early stage of his life. From the stories I hear, he was always a hard-working kid. He had that old Yugoslavian anger in him that always, old school Yugoslavian players had, that he just didn't care, and he would just go to win. And I'm personally a huge fan of him. I followed, all his games in LA. I think he's one of those guys that he's just born with a full package. I really hope that his last step is to really dominate and win the championships in Los Angeles. He's in a perfect position. I think what the situation that happened to him, that Dallas traded him to Lakers, it was very emotional and very difficult, which I love to feel that somebody cared. It shows that how much players we do care, because a lot of times people saying, oh, they don't care, they're just making a lot of money, they don't care. He's a perfect example who showed how much he cared. He was emotionally destroyed. But right now, I do believe that's going to give him that enough anger, a boost to show everybody that who really he is. And you know what? The character that he just can't come in and he just doesn't care and psychologically dominate the game. To me, it's phenomenal for being a white guy from Balkans.
I want to talk with you a little bit now. We are in a paddle court, okay? I want to talk with you a little bit about this sport. Tell us, when was the first time you went inside a paddle court?
First time, actually, I went to a paddle court. I didn't even know what paddle court is because I was in La Finca in Madrid when I played for Real Madrid for a short period, and there was the beautiful sports center there. I think La Finca it's called. Mm-hmm. And
La Finca, yeah.
Yes, they had a paddle there.
The Reebok place in La Finca, yeah.
So at the time we were there, and many friends around Real Madrid. We were there. People were playing, but at the time it didn't catch my attention because I was super focused on basketball. And then many years later, I don't know now exactly, but maybe 10 years later, maybe less, I was in Miami. I lived in Miami for 13 years. A friend of mine, Wayne Boych, he opened the court. Mm-hmm. He started talking about paddle. And a lot of people from tennis started getting into it. And one day I just went to, I believe, his house or someone else's house, and I started playing a little bit, and I got into it, and then slowly.
What do you think about Padel? How is Padel growing? What do you think about this sport in the US in the next years?
I really believe it's amazing sport. Not that many sports that I can see or played that for some reason it's very easy to get into it. And it's also one of these sports that every person and a lot of guys that, most of the men, we try to play some kind of sport. Most of the men didn't succeed. And paddle, it can give you an opportunity to feel good. You know what, I can play. Whoever you talk to in business world, can you play paddle? Yes. Are you good? I'm good. Nobody's realistic. So that's a very good thing for paddle. It's also a very dynamic sport. It's, every other sport, you need a time to understand, to get into it. If it's golf, if it's tennis, if it's basketball, you need months, if not years, to get into it, to feel the magic of the sport. Paddle is much sooner. You pass a couple times, maybe you play with somebody who's very good next to you, so you just come on the net and hit a couple times, and you start feeling good. And that feeling good is what sucks you into the sport. So I believe also it's good for cardio. You can play it in a later stage of your life, and I think it's phenomenal sport.
How many days you play actually Padel, or Padel had changed your life in some way? I believe you have been always making sports, so.
I mean, it depends. I go in the periods. Sometimes I play three, 4 times a week. Sometimes, one time if I get, I'm good. It's again. It's a beautiful sport. I try to be in shape. I try to eat healthy. I try to do, to feel good. And for me, it's also very hard to play basketball or any other sport with people, because unless you're playing with the people who already play basketball, the difference is too big. So I feel paddle is competitive, so I can really come in and play a couple hours and really sweat.
Marko, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
And now we are going to play. So see you inside the courts.